We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy. That's when you have sex.
No, consecrate.
What's the consummate?
Canonize.
Oh, you consummate a marriage.
Yes. Or
Right?
consummate, like professional? Is that the right way to say it?
Are we recording?
I don't even know if we're
Yes, we
Oh,
are.
okay. So let's consecrate. We're going to consecrate your consummate.
It's a consummate professional, and you consummate a marriage.
Wow, I was not guessing that's how you spell
you
that
don't want
word.
to consecrate a marriage. You want to
Why
I mean,
not?
you want to if you're religious, you might want to consecrate it too.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's
maybe
like the priest.
I have no idea what any of these mean.
And we are not English. I was like, English people. English.
Actually, English is one of my favorite subjects.
Well, then, bitch, learn how to consummate and consecrate. And learn.
And conjugate.
Constipate.
Oh, yeah,
And-
constipate.
Yeah, and constipate, yeah. All right. So, welcome, everyone. We're These Unprecedented Gays. I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe, and that is us. We are them. We are they.
They are us, and we are they.
And yeah, are they them, our pronouns? We are they.
Yes, our pronouns are they and them.
tugayspod is they. They know no gender.
So, how was your week, Joe?
Oh, there's actually, I actually did a lot this week.
Oh my God.
I know. But it was all in one day.
Oh, okay.
So,
pack it all in.
Oh, she packing.
Okay.
What you packing with Michelle Visage? Do you ever watch those?
We do. We haven't watched them in this past season, the one that's on right now, and I wish that they were doing one for Drag Race UK versus the World.
Yeah.
I think that would be really good.
I never really understood it. It's what you packing, what did you take with you?
Yeah, so she talks to them about their time on the show, and then she talks to them about their lives and stuff, and then they talk about 3 or 4 different outfits that they brought.
Yeah,
Because before COVID, they would sit in the same studio, and they would be on display behind them.
Yeah,
but because of COVID, they
have that now. Same
Oh,
thing.
they
Yeah.
do it again. Okay,
But I always love how they always showcase the most gorgeous pieces, and it's why didn't you wear that?
well, and depending on if they're further into the competition, they will talk about a look or two that they've already done, and then talk about future ones. But it's also cool because they would do it. Some of them were right before they announced the winner. They had the finalists on there, so it's you saw all 3, and it was oh, that's kind of cool.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. I'll watch it
if it's on, yeah.
I mean, it's on YouTube, so
it's I'll watch it if it's there.
Yeah.
And if it seems like it might be a funny
yeah, it's
subject.
it's what you have in the background while you're on Instagram or playing. Mafia
that's
Awards.
everything we watch.
Mafia Awards.
We'll watch Survivor, and I'm and Andy's let's watch Survivor, and then we put it on, and then he goes to his word game on his phone, and I'm are you not watching Survivor?
I do. Nick does the same thing, and I'm he's I'm multitasking, and then I was oh, is that why you like to watch movies multiple times, because you don't pay attention and you actually have to watch them multiple times to get the plot, whereas I watch it once.
No.
I'm not saying I said it, but I'm saying I said.
I mean, I don't say that.
So wait, what? So my week was fine.
Yeah, how was your week?
So I took Max to the beach.
Okay.
We went to the beach, and
How did he do?
he is.
Did you let him off the leash?
No.
Oh,
No, sorry,
yeah.
I did. But he was I am never coming back to you. So then we had to chase him. And then I was you're staying on leash because you are not allowed off leash. But he did doggle padding.
Doggle patting? Is he on his period?
It's that time of the
Is
sea.
he spotting?
Oh my god. Doggy paddling.
Okay.
Because it's like, they can do it without learning. And I was like, oh my god, this is so cute. But then I don't think he was wanting to swim. And I was like, just keep swimming. You're adorable.
Just keep swimming.
But he drank a lot of seawater.
Oh, I know. That's what happens with Cooper every time he goes to the beach. So that's why we have to take him out right when he gets home, because then if not, then he'll throw up on our
So Max
carpet.
didn't throw up, but apparently it left the other end.
Oh.
And it was just traumatizing for me. Because I was like, oh, you're just going to poop on the beach. That's fine. It's sand. It'll be easy. And it was like, release the Kraken. And I was like...
Good thing it's on the beach, though. Could you imagine if it was in your car or
and
at your
Nick was
house?
trying to like kick it over. I was like, don't do that. We need people to know that there's shit right here and then not step here. Because I was just like, this is so gross. So that was his beach trip.
Okay.
But it was... I think he liked the beach.
It was really fun.
It was his first time, right?
Yes.
And I know you're nervous, like, doing... like some of that stuff with Max and stuff, because you just don't know how it's going to react. Because the dogs around. I'll tell you, we took our friend Claire used to have this dog named Carl, and he was just a giant Rottweiler, and she was always nervous about taking him to the beach. So we said, okay, let's go to the beach. We'll go with you. And I had so much fun with that dog, and he had such a great time. He was digging in the sand and in the water, and
Max was like galloping through the water, and I was like, you're like a horse.
So a good thing to do is there's like these Tuffy or I forget who makes them, but they're throwing like toys that you can throw out into the water and they can bring back.
Oh.
Cooper has one. It's like triangle shaped. I cannot talk today.
Dongle paddle. This is going to be a great episode. I love it.
So, and but he loves it, and he doesn't pay attention to any other dogs. He is so focused on that one toy that when we throw it out in the water, he goes out, grabs it, and brings it back.
Okay,
and
that's
throw
great.
it again.
Max is not. I was like, hi, look at me. And he's like, all of these other dogs. And he ran away. And I was like, oh, Lord.
So if you give him something to focus on that he loves, then it's probably better for him.
Yeah, I also need to, like, get his recall better. So he needs... I've been wanting to take him to, like, a training thing or whatever to, like... When I say, like, come here, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to come here. So that would be probably, like...
So you want to get him some sub and dom training?
Yeah.
Come!
Yeah.
Skeet, skeet! Whee!
That's exactly... Gobble, gobble, gobble. Forgot about that. It was just so... It seems so long ago, but it wasn't. So that was that. And then it was Valentine's Day. And so... before that, it was Silent Disco night. And so I went to Silent Disco.
You love Silent Disco.
I love the Silent Disco. But I will tell you, so it was like 2000s music, but they don't have like... They don't take requests anymore. And all they do is... I know. It's homophobic at Uptown Tavern.
Right.
The gay bar is homophobic. So, like, I'm like, oh, are you taking requests? He goes, no. And I was like, oh, okay, but, like, where's, like, the good music, almost? Because he was, like, remixing stuff, and it was like, I get it. Like, you're remixing, like, pop music, but it was bad.
It's like, okay, you don't take requests, but could you take suggestions?
Like, I get it. And they only DJ one channel. There's 3 channels, they only DJ one. And I was like, your lazy ass is only going to DJ one of these channels, and all you're doing is remixing?
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, Paul
That's
remixes
sad.
all the time. And makes multiple playlists. So I was a little disappointed because I always want, like, some good, like, oldies and, like, some ratchet ass hip hop and then, like, some pop.
Yeah.
Because you want to go through the emotions.
You want to go from Britney to Little John.
Yes.
To, like...
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Back to, like, some Paul Wall.
Yes.
Or something. Yeah.
So, like, that was whatever. But then it was Valentine's Day.
Did you watch the Super Bowl, though? Let me ask.
No, I did not. I watched 0 hours of the Super Bowl.
Same. We didn't watch any of it, but we watched all of the commercials on YouTube, which Andy hates because he was like, "I'm tired of watching commercials. Can we watch something else now?"
How long was the video on YouTube?
It was like 7 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah,
of all the
but
commercials.
there's a couple of them.
Oh,
and plus
like
they released a lot of the trailers for the new movies. So like Doctor Strange 2, Madness in the Multiverse came out.
Okay.
I am obsessed. Obsessed. That's not what I'm obsessed about this week for Mouth to Mouth, but I'm obsessed with that.
Well, I'm glad you talked about Marvel because I last night watched the Eternals.
Did you love it?
I was okay. Like, I didn't know how to like what to expect because I was like Angelina Jolie. Like, the cast was interesting, and I had no idea what the movie was about. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. It started off a little slow.
Yes.
And then I was like very confused until like probably halfway to 3/4 of the way. And I was like, oh, I get it. And then I was like, I am invested.
See, the thing is, the good thing for Andy, the good and the bad thing for Andy is as I read all these comic books, and it's like, so I go into it with all this knowledge, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so and so, and that's so and so, and then it's like, it's a really good one, but they tried too hard to be so diverse. But it does a good thing about that, and I loved about it was they did have a gay character, but it was like secondary to who he was.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like rolls into like, we're talking about this because it plays into stereotypes and everything like that. And I thought it was so cool. Plus, it was a lot of their body shapes and stuff were different than what you normally get in the hero movies.
Yeah.
And of course, like the gay guy's whole thing was you didn't realize that he was gay until the husband showed up.
Yeah.
And then he is also like the smart one.
Yep.
He was African American.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, so that's so cool to see because you don't have to be buff. You don't have to be white. You don't have to be effeminate. And so I loved it.
And they didn't focus. You're right. It wasn't focused on it. It was just like, oh, this is just a part of who he is.
And I loved it that after the movie, Andy was like, I didn't hate that.
Well, and so like, okay, like
I saw it twice.
And he saw it twice. So that's very intentional.
I was like, okay, I just like was very confused because I was like, I get the whole premise that they're like never gonna die. But then they like throw in the like plot twist and I was like, oh. And then like, I was like, I know there's gonna be like an end scene or whatever. So I fast forwarded and I was like, Harry Styles?
Yeah. Oh my god, I loved it because he plays Eros, and as you know, they're all named after like
gods.
Greek mythology and stuff
Isn't
like that.
Isn't that the god of love?
It's Eros is Cupid, and it's god of love. So he plays his character called Star Fox.
Oh. And
he has like a pheromone power or like a power to make people fall in love with him.
Oh.
And he's actually very during this time frame and the climate that we are, Star Fox is actually kind of his power is not very cool right now because it kind of plays into the whole Me Too and everything. But it's like it's very interesting to see what they're going to do with him because
there's got to be a second one.
And the little short guy is named Pip. And he's cool too, and I love him.
When it was, oh my god!
And then there's a guy from who was in with Game of Thrones?
Kit Harington, yeah.
Kit Harington. He plays like, Black Knight.
But I knew he was gonna, he's like, I have to talk about my family history. And I was like, okay, buddy.
But he has the ebony sword. And that's what he opened in one of the end credits in the box.
Oh, I didn't see him open up a box.
Oh,
maybe, are there multiple endings?
There's two.
What?
Yeah.
There's an ending after the ending?
There's the ending, and then there's a cutscene halfway through the credits, and then there's one at the end of the credits.
Okay.
So you only watched the Star Fox one.
Yeah. I didn't know you had to pay attention for like...
Oh, yeah, girl.
Oh, Lord.
So anyway.
So I watched that.
Okay.
That was a journey.
And then... what?
That was a journey.
We take you on
this whole podcast is a journey, people.
Yeah. Life is a journey, not a destination.
Strap in, not strap on, and just enjoy the ride.
That's a good segue into the next thing that I was going to talk about, which is Nick got me a bidet.
Oh, gobble gobble, bitch!
Yeah. So, he was like, oh, I got you like a bidet. And I was like, okay.
Have you used it?
I have. So I set it up, and I didn't know that, like, when you turn it on, it, like, there's, like, a clean thing where it, like, doesn't squirt it out, but, like, I turned the nozzle too high, and it shut the wall.
So you missed your butthole completely when
No,
you're saying.
I wasn't on the toilet yet. Okay. I was like, oh, let me just see, like, this little, like, rinsing feature of, like, it, like, can clean the toilet bowl or whatever.
It's like Old Faithful up in your bathroom.
It was a crystal geyser for sure. So, like, I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, let me just, like, try it and I'll see what it is. And it was, like, very powerful because it's, like, I had it on the lowest setting. Like, the, like, least powerful. And I was like, holy crap.
So,
water pick for your ass.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was not.
You will not have any plaque buildup in your ass.
No, it was like a super soaker.
You're like, bracing yourself, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is it.
No.
I'm used to it now.
And it's freezing cold water. And
Don't
I
they
was
have like a hot water?
well, they do, but I can't like hook into my sink line because I don't have access to that water.
Oh.
And I didn't want to pay $600 for the heated toilet seat with the air dryer, but I might.
With the air dryer?
It has, so it's got like.
Is there like a disco lights on it too? I would
Maybe.
love it if there were.
For $600, it better play music and it better wipe. But it has like heated seat, heated water, and then it has a little fan, like an air dryer.
Hashtag treat yourself.
I mean, for $600.
Yeah.
In our money episode, we've realized I've been treating myself a lot. I need to stop treating myself.
Does it have like remote control or anything? Can you like?
The Tushy one does.
Oh.
So, but yeah, so the bidet I'm getting used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was that was my week. There was a lot of things.
Oh,
So,
very cool.
yeah,
What'd you guys do for Valentine's Day?
We went to get pizza at what is it called? Mississippi Mike's or whatever?
Call it
Michigan
Magic.
Mike's.
Massachusetts.
I call
Mike?
it Magic Mike's.
That one, yeah. And yeah, really love
One of those M states.
Michigan,
Missouri, Massachusetts, Maine.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Maryland.
Maryland, there
Montana.
you go.
Montana.
Texas.
Look, we're geography majors now.
Not me.
Mexico City.
California,
Okay.
Florida,
Malorna.
Pennsylvania.
Which is
Florida
made of
sounds
all-
like a
like I know her.
yeah. So yeah, that was my week. How are you?
Mine was good. We, of course it was Valentine's Day. So I don't like doing Valentine's Day. I'm sure I talked about this before. I don't like going to restaurants because
Oh yeah, it's super packed.
it's super packed and
Overpriced.
it's overpriced. It's just a scam. It's big restaurant trying to get your money and creating how they say like big. Okay.
Wait, big what?
Like Big Pharma.
Like big pharma is just trying to get your money.
They are.
So-
Yeah. Don't get me started. I work for them.
I know. So we ended up making steaks here, and I made a béarnaise sauce.
Ooh,
And-
I know Brene.
Okay. Actually, do you know what a béarnaise sauce is?
No.
So it's a hollandaise sauce.
Oh,
But, yeah, hollandaise, but with tarragon.
Oh.
So
And shuttles.
it's in shallots, and so it's an herb-esque hollandaise.
Oh.
So it's delicious on
So
steak.
if you have hollandaise with what was it, tarragon?
Yes,
On
and
your
shallots.
eggs Benedict, is it an eggs Benedict?
It's still it's Benedict, but with béarnaise.
Huh.
But they usually use it for steaks and stuff. So I love it on my mashed potatoes. I think it's delicious because it's just basically butter.
Okay.
That's all it is, really.
So Brene's
Yeah.
the house down.
And then mashed potatoes and stuff. So we had a dinner at home, and then this week it's been kind of quiet. Like we didn't watch the Super Bowl, but have you watched any like Academy Award nominated movies yet?
Is the Oscars soon?
Yes, the Oscars is soon,
When?
like in March.
Okay.
But
I've
we
seen
watched
none of the movies.
this amazing movie. Everybody go watch this movie on Apple TV if you have it. It is called CODA, and it stands for Child of Deaf Adults. And it is amazing. It is
From
so
Apple
good.
TV.
It's on Apple.
Those
yes,
are
it's Apple TV
nominated?
original. Yeah.
Are they like they're a part of?
Oh
like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Oscars
Because now it's like Netflix, Amazon, Apple TV, Hulu. All of them are in the game now. They all got skin in the game, girl.
I guess it's a movie. It doesn't have to be released in theaters.
That's correct.
Yes. So, it's really good though. So everybody should
Coda.
watch it. Yeah. I tried watching Euphoria this season. Oh my God. Euphoria is like draining. It's even worse than like The Handmaid's Tale.
So you weren't happy? You weren't like
I wasn't euphoric about it.
No joy.
There's no joy in the show.
It's dark, right?
Yeah, and I know that they're trying to like set it up in a way, but I'm just like, I can't. I need at least a little bit of redeeming joy during the episode because I'm like, I can only watch because the Great Pottery Throwdown and the Great British Baking Show and all those shows are only going to get me so far. The Doghouse UK is only going to get me so far. But I love that show. So
Anyway,
anyway,
if ever in doubt, just watch Golden Girls.
yeah. Okay. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. But Andy doesn't really like Golden Girls. So we watched like Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Ooh.
That one's actually held up really well.
I don't think I've like seen it from like start to finish, but like I remember when it was on TV.
Yeah. See,
And
you're
that's when I would
watching
watch
it now, like from start to finish.
Because that's the one, oh God, who's the guy?
John Lithgow.
Yeah, and the girl.
And French Stewart, Kristen
I'm just
Stewart.
thinking, I know that's so descriptive.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
He's the kid, right?
He's the kid, yes.
Okay.
So a lot of people on it. So really great.
Yeah, the girl. Yeah.
Kristen Johnson.
Oh, Kristen Johnson. I'm sorry, not Kristen
yeah.
Stewart. I got her mixed up. Sorry. But really good. So anyway, so week, not a lot happening, but you know. So that means we can segue into our segment
segue?
that we're obsessed with.
Have you ever been on a Segway?
Oh my god, yes.
Really?
I have been on a Segway.
Okay.
Have you?
No.
No.
I always think I would fall.
It is all about balance. Like I was only on it for like a second because we got them at Target, and because they had it for like the security guards to roam the parking lot. So I'm like, when we got it in, I'm like, oh my god, I have to try it.
Did you fall?
And I almost fell on my ass.
See, I think what are the like hoverboards or whatever, or like the new Segways?
Oh.
I can't.
Okay, so
Tell me, give it.
We're watching. Okay. Also, I'm going to tell you a
Try
little story.
rainbow.
So I was at work the other day on Valentine's Day, and we're all talking about what we're going to do. And for some reason, I don't know how we got on the subject, but Cop Rock came on, and I don't know if people remember this show. Mm-hmm. It was by Stephen Bosco, and it was a musical about cops. Okay.
Rightfully titled.
Right. And so, but I was trying to talk about it, and I kept saying cock rock. And I was saying it at the desk. Thank God there weren't any patients around.
Hey, it's fine.
I know. Anyway, what was I talking about?
What gives you life?
You were talking about a Segway.
Oh, we were talking about a Segway, and then the hoverboard. Okay, so we're watching Project Runway this season, and in the finale, we haven't actually finished the episode yet, but one of the girls wants to use a hoverboard on the runway for one of her dresses, and we're like, this does not look like it's gonna go well, you know? And I didn't realize that those were the hoverboards where it was like the 2 feet and then the wheels on the sides. I'm like, how is that different than the one where it's one wheel?
I think that's a hover wheel.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
They're all very, very dangerous for me who doesn't have balance.
I thought I was going to die on a pair of Heelys, so, you know.
I always wanted Heelys.
Did you?
When I was a kid.
You can still wear them, girl. Get some adult size.
They make them still?
I'm sure they probably do. You can probably find them on eBay.
Oh, that's true. I have an eBay account.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, we're going to get into what's giving us life, what we love, what we're obsessed with. It's time for Mouth to Mouth. Mouth to Mouth. Resuscitation. All right, Jess, what's giving you life? What are you obsessed with? What can't you live without?
I have 3. I know.
3?
I wrote it down.
You've been busy, and you have a bunch of stuff you're obsessed with. Let's go.
But it's not a lot of writing. It's
okay.
Bullet points because I like to keep it concise.
Okay. You don't like to expand on your thoughts, but you want them there.
Bullet points.
Exactly.
Okay, so first, I got new headphones. They're like Jabra headphones, and so it's not the headphones I'm obsessed with, but I'm obsessed with the Best Buy headphone warranty policy because basically what you can do is if you ever have an issue, you just go and you say like, hey, these are not working or whatever, and they swap them out for the new version.
Oh.
And it's like $60.
Oh, how long does it last for?
2 years.
Okay.
And I don't know if I have bad headphone luck, probably, but it just so happens like every year it's like, oh, my headphones start crapping out. So I should probably like pop them in for like a new model. Yeah, so I got new headphones for $70.
There you go.
So yeah, the Best Buy, whatever that was called. And then Golden Girls, because so like I'll like kind
full circle.
I'll have it on the background while I'm working, and then I'm like, oh, this is more fun. And like I sometimes will watch it, but like it's just so good.
But he's still working, people. I swear he's still working.
I'm able to multitask very well, and I delegate accordingly to my team. Corporate America. So Golden Girls.
Okay.
And then the last one is the Bath and Body Works, what are they called? Wallflowers?
Oh, the plugins?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're strong. Like, they are very, very...
Like your bidet strong?
Yeah. Well, I have one in the bathroom with a strong bidet, so it's a very strong bathroom. A very strong bathroom.
Your bathroom is very aggressive.
It is. It really is. Even my shower pressure. Oh my god. Maybe that's why it's not a relaxing environment.
Maybe.
So those are my 3. What about you?
Okay. So I have 2 things that I'm obsessed with this week. So first one is on Instagram. I found this account. It's called Liam Draws Queens. And it's a cartoonist who does Drag Race kind of like cartoons based on what happened that week and stuff like that. Really good, really funny. I love the guy. Except, this last one that he did today was not very funny because it was all about Jimbo, because some people are just so upset that Jimbo got kicked off, got eliminated, and I'm just like,
we already.
I already and it's coming out 2 weeks from now. If you haven't seen it yet, it's not really important to you. I'm just saying. But spoiler alert! And it's funny because I was like, oh my god, Pangina's gonna get so much hate now. I'm like, she has sent both Canadian queens home.
Whatever.
And but go check them out. Liam Draws Queens on Instagram. It's really good. And the other thing I'm obsessed with right now is the girls at work bought like this snack box from Staples or Costco or something like that. So it's got like 50,000 snacks in it and stuff.
That's a lot of snacks.
But they have the Andy Cap cheddar fried chips.
What?
Andy Cap is this like cartoon from back in the day. I don't know if he's still around or not. ANDYCAPP. And
you said PP.
PP. And but it was like, I can't remember, he is like an alcoholic or drunk or something like that, and I can't remember exactly what nationality Andy Cap was supposed to be, but the fried chips are so good. They're like a salt bomb, but it's really good. And it's a British comic, so he's supposed to be British.
Chips? What's a fried chip?
It looks like a fry, but it's a chip.
I've never had that.
Like a
Yeah.
potato stick.
Yeah, it's like a little stick. But it's a salt bomb, but it's so good. And I just like, so I've been eating those bags of chips at work, and I'm just like, but then they have the hot ones, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, we don't like
the
hot
ones.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that song yet?
No, damn
What I was
it.
obsessed with last week?
No.
Okay.
How'd you
Whatever.
know?
What's the point of me bringing it up then?
I think it's because I forgot.
But is it a stereotype that we like Megan Thee Stallion because she's a strong black woman and gays like
Oh, that's a good one.
go? That's a good segue, right? Just
Well,
like
no,
riding a segue.
That's a good stereotype. Wow.
I know. So that's what we're going to talk about this week is stereotypes and how we feel about them and do we fit into them and...
You can't put Joe in a box. I mean, you can.
But is that like a kink?
I don't know. I've never explored
Is that a stereotypical kink? I don't know.
Boxing? Oh, not boxing, but boxing.
And then would somebody on YouTube then unbox you?
Glad Kitty. Unboxed by Glad. Let's get her back on and she can unbox me. Would I be like naked though? Or like...
I guess that's up to you.
This will be on our OnlyFans that we need to...
Yes,
to make.
we'll have the Joe unboxing on OnlyFans.
You can write your story.
Only you can.
So, like, what do you consider a stereotype?
Oh, like the definition?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, what you consider a stereotype?
Well, I mean, in general, like, the thing is, like, stereotypes are not the best, but, like, the whole, like, Asian people can't drive stereotype, which I don't agree with, but, like, there's other, like, I don't know.
What about gay? And, in general, like, gay stereotypes.
Oh, there's plenty of gay stereotypes. I have 10 that I wrote down.
Okay.
We'll get into them. I mean, I think it's...
Is this the Joe Feed top 10 gay stereotypes?
Unboxing. Well, and I mean, we were talking about this earlier, but like I couldn't find anything online. Like,
because it's all
research.
like scientific journals.
Yeah,
and stuff.
and like I would, if I wanted to read
journals.
them, I could, but like I don't care about the statistical significance.
Well, I was like, a lot of them when I go to look at them, it's like abstract, and I'm like, what is that?
That's the introduction.
Oh, it's just called introduction?
Well, no, because you have the abstract, and then the introduction, and then the methods, and then the conclusion, and then the discussion.
Well, and I love that some people had like acknowledgments, like because they were like a thesis.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, Do you really have acknowledgments on your thesis?
Girl,
That's so cool.
You gotta cite your sources, and you gotta MLM that thing.
But like they were acknowledging, they were like dedicating it to their family, their husband. I was like, oh, on
Maybe
your
they
thesis?
can dedicate it to us.
With posts and stuff, people put TLTR, too lazy to read. That's kind of the abstract.
Is that what that means? Oh my god, I did not know that's what that means.
Too long didn't read.
Or too long.
Too long didn't read.
I'm like, I did not know that.
Is
that's
that what that means?
Yes.
I am so
I was
old.
like, I was like, what is that?
Well,
And then it's like a sentence. That's a Reddit thing. We don't Reddit.
we don't Reddit. Yeah, but like
I read it, but I don't Reddit.
we should have like a whole episode of just like where we
Acronyms?
break it down the acronyms for people.
Oh my
so
God.
it's like because I did not know that.
I know LOL.
DTF is down to friend.
Yeah, TTF down the front. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I will never forget my mom. Oh God, this was like 15 or I don't know how many years ago. She was sending an email, and in the subject title, she put "FU" for follow up. And I was like, Mom. And she's like, what? I'm writing follow up. I was like, you just wrote FU? She's like, yeah, follow up. And I was like,
No.
So yeah. Anyway, so stereotype, like, are you asking my definition of a stereotype? Or
Well,
like-
I mean, like we have within the gay community, we have stereotypes, and within the world at large, they have what they consider their stereotypes for gay people. So, you know, we have like the gay best friend.
oh, I didn't even think of that.
the-
That was one, yeah.
Yeah, and like the artist, and you know, very flamboyant, or
I have that one, yeah.
you know, and those are what started as a stereotype for all gays, but then it's kind of like as the years have gone by, there's a lot more stereotypes now that they didn't have before, like the muscle queen.
Yeah, I was just gonna
The
say
disco.
within the community, there are stereotypes that we have created
Right.
as gay people.
And for me, because I'm older than you,
A little bit.
I you know, was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s and 90s. So I went through this whole like, okay, the only thing I know about gay people are stereotypes that I see.
yeah.
And on TV and film and stuff like that, it was always like the effeminate gay,
Yep.
the cowardly next door neighbor, the villain,
Yeah.
you know, and then it was like, or somebody who's about to die a gruesome death,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Not great options.
I don't really want to be any of these, but I guess if I gotta pick one. And the worst part is like, I'm Filipino too, so it's like I didn't see a lot of them. So the only one that I knew, and it was like in the late 90s, early 2000s, Alec Mapa.
Okay.
But even then it was like, you know, the Filipino queen who can't really speak very well, always a maid or a servant, still very flamboyant.
Mhm.
You know, I think the only one that he didn't play something like that was when he was on Ugly Betty. And it was like he was the newscaster, but he was still played off as a bitchy gay newscaster.
yeah.
So it's hard for me because it's like when I was growing up, I was like, oh my God, do I have to be like this?
That's what I thought too. Because it was like I saw Will and Grace and I saw Jack and I was like, is that what I'm gonna be?
But the good thing about Will and Grace is they did a really good job of like balancing it between Jack, who was supposed to be that funny gay best friend, and then Will,
Yeah.
who is the more uptight, like supposedly more masculine
Straight
man.
acting.
Yeah.
Finger. What is this?
Yeah.
What air quoting?
Air quotes. It's like straight acting. And it's like, okay. But again, isn't straight acting just another stereotype?
Yes, everything's a stereotype.
Right, but also stereotypes are based in reality because they're there for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Well, and then they're perpetuated by like being alive, if that makes sense. Like if we see this thing and then we become that, then that just furthers that narrative or
Right.
whatever.
And it's like, I feel like kids nowadays have it, and I'm not trying to like belittle anyone's experience or what they're going through and stuff like that, but I feel like they have a lot more to choose from and how they want to represent themselves.
Oh yeah, they have all the access in the world too.
Right. It's like you've got Love Simon, Love Victor, you've got Pose, you've got, you know, just a number of ways for them to see themselves
And it's
projected
more
back at
accepted,
them.
too. Like kids they can do whatever they want, and it's like, oh yeah, you're just being a kid. It's fine.
Yeah. So
That would have been nice.
yeah, it would have been nice if I had that. But I'm good, you know. And then it was like, but also, you didn't have back then. It was also like people spent a lot of times hating or hiding themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So like we all knew Elton John was gay back in the day, but it was like so hidden that it wasn't supposed to be talked about. So it's like, is that how I'm supposed to feel?
Yeah.
That I have to hide it and stuff. So I spent a lot of time like not like trying to defy the stereotypes. Like I didn't want to be the swishy queen.
I did.
Yeah.
I tried so hard because I didn't want to be that.
I wanted to be
people to know.
I wanted to be masked. So like I felt like
clearly we didn't succeed.
What are you talking about? I feel like I did a really good job of that. But again, it's like I went from wanting to be masked as much as possible at what the stereotype of masculine.
Yeah.
Which again, society puts upon us that it has to be this buff guy in really good shape with facial hair and then, body hair. And then it come to find out that's not my stereotype. That's not what I want to be. That's what I want to sleep with.
Yeah.
And then that becomes a stereotype within the gay community.
I know, it's layered.
It's like an onion.
It is, girl.
Okay, Shrek.
We always... every couple episodes, it Shreks back in. Well, so what are some stereotypes that you have? That you've, noticed or identified?
So, for me, I'll get into it. I'm just going to let you know, I have learned to, embrace the stereotypes of whatever my personality is because when I was younger, it was like, oh, I want to be masculine as much as possible. But then it was also like, oh, but if I'm effeminate and I make fun of myself, then nobody else can do it before I do it.
Yeah.
So it's I find gay people have a lot of self-deprecating humor.
Yeah. And
that's based on wanting to...
It's coping mechanism.
It's a coping mechanism. Yeah, exactly. So for me, I know I use my hands a lot when I talk.
That's because you are an Italian-esque.
Yeah. I'm like, the viewers, the listeners can't see it, but you can probably hear my hands are going all over the place.
See, I can't gesticulate because I'm in a...
You can't what?
Gesticulate.
Oh. I'm like, what you doing on my couch?
What, consecrate? I'm gesticulating consecration.
You are gesticulating all over this place. I'm like,
Oh.
But for me, I use my hands a lot. I know that I do have sort of what they call a gay sound.
The gay voice.
Yes. Have you ever watched that documentary?
Yes.
Do I Sound Gay?
Yes.
And it's a great documentary.
Oh, wait. I've seen something... I don't know if it was a full documentary, but there was a guy.
Yes.
Right? And this was a couple... Maybe a decade.
It's been a while. Yeah. It's been a little bit since that came out. But it's great. But I know that I do have somewhat of a gay voice.
Oh, same. 100%.
And... the funny thing is that, and we talked about customer service voice versus your regular voice, but I also have my voices where it's okay, if I am at work, depending on who that person is, I might change it. Because if I see somebody coming in and they're they look kind of, blue collar esque and a little bit more rugged, I might drop my voice down a little bit.
Really?
But if I'm out somewhere and I see a girl and, I might bring my voice up a little bit higher so that she realizes I'm not a threat or something. Yeah. I'm not trying to hit on her.
Compliment. Hey, bitch, you look good.
Oh my God, look at your dress. I love it. Go, bitch.
So you change some of
based on because I don't want... Because I already think I have a gay look, too. I might look gay. I don't know what that means either, but that's another stereotype.
Really?
Listeners, Paul is wearing a bear sweater.
I love my bear sweater. And can I just tell you, I get a lot of compliments on this. And actually, this is Andy's sweater, but I'm kind of just taking it over. So, but people love this sweater. It's great. It was
is it a grizzly?
It's a brown bear.
What's the difference?
I think it's a grizzly.
I don't know. But I got it for a couple of bucks at Old Navy a couple of years ago.
Oh, come on, deal.
And see, that's another thing. Am I just feeding into a stereotype of Asians that because I always like a deal?
I like it. Am I Asian? Because I like a deal?
I mean, have you had Asian in you? Is the bidet Asian? Maybe.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to think about that. Have I?
I don't know.
Have I had Asian in me? I don't think I have.
But I don't know. Well, girl, don't go looking at me. I'm not.
The bidet is not Asian.
Oh, okay.
No.
I don't think I've had.
If it were Asian, the water would warm before it shoots out.
Exactly.
They think of that.
But those are expensive.
Yeah.
What about you? Like, what kind of stereotypes do you think you
hit
fit
on
into?
some good ones. The ones that I like. So within the community of the bottom stereotype, which I don't like because I think there's such a negative connotation of like being a bottom in the community.
Well, there's this whole stigma
I hate
about it.
Yeah.
But you know the only stigma? A stigma dick or your ass.
That was good. I like
You like that, right? Y'all can use that if you want. But also, there's a stigma of like, there's a certain look to bottoms. Like they are small and they are, a more
stereotypical
of the weak,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're more the girly. So I hate when people ask that, who's the top and who's the bottom.
I know, or like who's the man in the relationship, or who's the woman in the relationship.
I like we both are.
I remember, I forget who asked me that, but it was a straight person. And I was like, well, who's the man in your relationship?
Oh,
and he was like,
shade.
He was like, what? And I was like, yeah. Maybe your girlfriend or wife is actually the more dominant one, and she's actually the man in the relationship.
There you go.
He was like, oh, and I was like, yeah. See how it doesn't work like that?
Yeah. So you were saying,
fuck you, buddy. Clearly, we're over that.
We're not bitter about it at all.
Get better. Yeah, I have the gay voice. Also, like theater. Apparently, like everyone thinks that like if you're gay, you know all musical everything.
Well, like because they all thought because before the stereotype is that you were in the theater or you were some kind of artist or something like that, and that has stuck. And let's be real, it is based in some fact. So, I will drop a musical number right now.
I think there's a spectrum because it's like I love musicals, but it's like I am not that far into it.
Oh, I am. I'm that far into it. Like
I just don't have the awareness to it all.
Because this girl came in today and we're like, she was like 12. And we're like, what kind of music do you want to listen to in the room? And she was like, oh, Disney. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to put some Disney music on. And then one of the back texts comes out and she's like, can you put Encanto on? And I'm like, yes, we don't talk about Bruno. No.
Is that a musical though?
It's got music in it. Every Disney movie is basically a musical. Let's just be real.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking like a Broadway musical.
Right, yeah.
But still,
but it could be a Broadway musical because it was written by Lin-Manuel
Miranda. In the Disney formula, it will be a Broadway musical.
Yes, it'll become a Broadway musical. Don't worry. But I know I get what you're saying because we're all supposed to like theater. We're supposed to like music. We're supposed to love all the divas. So
yeah,
it's like,
and I still don't care about Beyonce's new music. And it was like, how can you? And I'm like, how? I don't give.
Does she have new music?
The Lemonade and all.
Oh, okay. I was
like
I'm waiting for Rihanna to drop a baby and an album. So
she will be. Yeah, she's dropping the baby, but not the album because she's a billionaire with Fenty.
Would it be funny if like she's pregnant and then when she delivers, they're like, it's a new album.
I mean, it's been almost 15 years?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
maybe 10.
So,
well, yeah. I mean, so that the whole like theater thing, which feeds into like the artistic part or whatever, like and like the designer, like you're like
a fashion designer,
like a fashion person, and I was like, I do not have a fashion sense
or a hair designer.
What is that?
Like your hairdresser.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I am not that either.
Just like what was it in Legally Blonde? One of my favorites is like the one guy in the beauty shop. He comes out and like, oh my god, are we doing the bend and snap? And I'm like, that is so gay. But I'm also like, okay, bitch, I'll live it for you.
So okay, like I know that you liked Q4s, and that was pretty stereotypical.
Yes,
but I loved it.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I found this like quote from an article, and it was like when people are named as stereotypes or made to feel like stereotypes, they become things, and it's easier to discriminate them because they're things.
Oh,
so I look at like Q-Force as, even though it's very stereotypical, they had a wide range of the stereotypes, and I'm okay with that because as long as you're showing every color of the rainbow, like let's do it. And they were okay with who they were. It wasn't again, it wasn't something where it was like it was a bad thing to be gay or to be this stereotype. It's like we're just gonna go full on into it. And I think that was like what some people had a problem with is their own internalized homophobia. Is that they don't want to see that back at them.
Well, because they're afraid of accepting that's who they are.
Right. Or when people put mask for mask. And I'm
Ew.
like, no, let's not.
No.
But I also think like if you embrace the stereotype with whatever stereotype that you're like with Billy Porter, he's decided he's going to embrace the stereotype of being gender fluid or being as gay as possible and wanting to be a man in a skirt or want to be fully a man or want to wear a dress or whatever. He's fully embraced whatever stereotype is out there that's put upon him, and he's now fully and freely living his life.
Well, he's reclaiming it, it seems.
Right.
And
it's just like, gays, just like their stereotypes, love labels. And so everything has to have a label. So like, within the gay community, we all have our animal labels, like otters and again, it's a stereotype of what should be, what does that mean?
Well, and that's the thing is like, I never figured out where I fit in on that. Cause it's like, I'm not like a muscular person. I'm not a twink. I'm like 6 feet. So like, I don't know where I fit in on that. I'm just like, I'm just me.
I loved it. Cause I'll tell you, like when I was younger, cause I have pictures to prove it, I was a twink.
No.
Okay. I've gone through like my thing where I'm like,
you've metamorphosized.
I know I'm not a twunk or anything. I was never a twunk. So I wasn't like a twink, but that was kind of like built, but I was like a skinny queen. So I was like, okay, I was a twink, and that was, and I went through that phase and then I was masked for a while and now I'm kind of just like melded the two and it's great to see that. But also, stereotypes and stuff are based in history and in fact, because it was also a way for people to, recognize you in the real world, but also they had their own signals too, like for that kind of thing. Cause like gay men in
like
Britain,
handkerchiefs or whatever.
Well,
Wasn't
like
that a thing?
handkerchiefs, I think is like sex thing, right?
I thought it was like if you have a handkerchief.
Oh, it's a preference.
It was like you have a handkerchief and it's like a
But
color.
it's a signal. It's a way of
Right. It's a signal of communicating again.
Yeah.
It's like, that was one of the things, but it's like, the handkerchiefs are like based on what side you put it on in the pocket, which pocket you put it in, is it top or bottom. The color tells you what you're into, that kind of thing. But like British men back in the day created their own language called Polari, so that they would know if that person was gay or not.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how they got the language out there. Like, can I get a Rosetta Stone for that? A Duolingo?
You have the same thing today. It's just on media. So RuPaul, the banter of drag queens, that's all the same kind of secret code.
Right.
Girl.
But it's also, but that is like based in like Black culture. It comes from a lot of that like language and stuff like that. But I think this was just a way of like signaling to somebody that, hey, without being overt about it, so that people didn't think that you were this stereotypical gay, that this was a way of doing it. And then like people, like men in New York City used to wear red ties to signify that they were part of the gay community. But it's also a way to not be so overtly stereotypically gay and still have people know that that's who you are. So, I mean, interesting, right? I'm giving you a little facts.
I'm glad we've come a long way where like we can freely express ourselves. I mean, and not have to, well, in some parts of the country, not have to worry about being discriminated against.
Well, what about like, okay, so how do you feel about like straight washing?
What's straight washing?
It's people who want to be, because Pete Buttigieg was, or booty call? Buttigieg.
I don't like him.
You don't?
No.
Buttigieg.
Okay.
He's a pushover.
Buttigieg?
I call him POP, pushover Pete.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
pop off.
Pop?
What?
What'd you say, Dick? Come on, share.
But that's for another episode.
Okay. But people accuse him of being straight washing because he's basically taken any form of being gay that would signify that away from what he presents.
Well, that's kind of like what you said, like mask for mask, or like I'm straight acting, and it's like, Are you, or you're just like refusing all of the other beautiful parts of being gay?
But at this point, straight acting is just another stereotype.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, straight men are gayer than gay men now.
I know. Like
And
metrosexuals, do you remember those?
Yeah. Like, straight men are taking care of themselves. They have skincare routines, and then gay men are just like, oh no, we don't want to do that. So like, we're going to be like gross.
I know. It's like, it's kind of gone
Full circle.
It's like a 180. Like, straight men now have their skincare routines, and gay men use like a 3-in-1. And let me tell you, I don't mind a 3-in-1. Like, I use the 3-in-1.
I do not. I have like a 12-step skincare routine.
A full-on 15-step.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, oh, I only use like 2 products, and then it was counting. I was like, oh my. I think it's like 7 in the morning, and I'm like, she got to layer it up. Only 3 at night, though. We're good.
So, like, only 3 at night?
Yeah.
What about in the morning?
Like 7 or 8, depending upon the day. If we need to exfoliate.
Do you have to do that? Like, do you have to, like, do a skincare routine at night and then a skincare routine in the morning?
I do, because I am blessed with adult acne, and so I have to combat everything possible with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just am like an oily bitch.
And this doesn't sound stereotypical at all.
Italian.
It's an Italian stereotype. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a greasy dago. Yeah. That's, hey, I mean, my grandma like was called that when she was younger. What? A greasy dago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
When she, I mean, obviously that was a long time ago, but
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, not to pivot or anything, but
no pivot. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Another thing that I dislike that people have a stereotype about gay people is that we have a lot of sex and we talk about sex a lot. Now, be as it may, we do talk about sex a lot on here. But that doesn't mean everybody else who's gay wants to talk about it a lot.
I mean, it's like, again, it's the journey. Right. We got to give them everything. We can't just give you one note.
But also, people always want to talk, like you were saying, like who's the top and bottom in your relationship, who's the man. It's like people always want to, like, especially girls.
They want a label.
They want to know. They want to, like.
I don't know why though. Like,
they want details. Like,
yeah. Like, oh, is it dirty when you have sex? Like,
it's always, isn't it dirty
have
for
you?
you?
Never stuck a dick in your ass? Like, come on.
Is it having sex dirty? Period.
Yeah.
If it's not, then you're doing it wrong.
Is it even sex though?
Well, yeah.
You're probably just soaking.
Oh God, ew.
I have a question for you both.
What?
Is there a difference when a stereotype is applied within your community versus when an external person applies that stereotype?
I think for me, yes, because within our own community, it's kind of like we try to, I guess, like I was saying, it's like kind of like reclaiming it or embracing it. But when it comes from outside, it feels almost derogatory.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so it's like it's just like any community out there, whether it be the African American community or the Jewish community or something. When they embrace those stereotypes, I think it feels different than if I was to go up to somebody and tell them they're fitting into a stereotype.
Yeah.
It was like kind of like we were watching Survivor, and last night, and there was that person who was very, like, obviously ignorant, but he was calling someone ghetto trash. Oh. And it's like, that to me is a stereotype. Mm. And you're externally pushing that upon this person because of how they acted. And that's not okay. But you can use it in a humorous way within your own community.
Within the community, though, I mean, it can go, like, I think within the community, it can be derogatory.
Like, yeah. Agreed. It's all about the intent, right? If it's done to celebrate that characteristic, it's not offensive. But if it's done to define the person, doesn't matter whether you're in or out, it's still offensive.
It's like again, I go back to bottom shaming, and I'm like, it's just like, why is that a thing? Like, you need 2 people to have sex, and one of them is going to be one person, or one position, the other is going to be the other. Like,
well, and anyway, you can't have gay sex without a bottom.
Yeah, and guess what? There's a lot of power in being a bottom.
Right,
because
you
get to choose
all the power.
Yes, you get to choose whether the person's having sex or not.
Right.
So don't shame somebody for having that sexual position preference.
Right.
That's what I say. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
All right. So
I have one that we didn't talk about yet.
Oh gosh, go ahead.
Is that all gay people know each other?
Oh my god, I love that.
Or that we all like, oh hey, like I know somebody, like you should date them, and it's like the only gay person they know. Like I don't know them, but like let me look at their Instagram.
Oh wait, I do know that.
Yeah. Oh, that's Manny. That like so, it's like kind of a little true, a little bit.
It's funny because like when people used to do that to me, they're like, "Oh my god, do you know so and so?" I was like, "Oh my god, yes, I see them at the meeting all the time." All the time.
Timer sounds like you're saying timer, but like, hey, I need a timer.
But like, I love when people do try to like, you don't know what I'm into. Like, oh, and then I fit into the stereotype of like an Asian man who only likes white guys.
Isn't that
like that's a potato queen?
Yeah,
I'm a potato queen.
That's a preference, not a stereotype.
But there is a stereotype that Asians love white guys, and especially like within Asian countries, there's this stereotype that Asian guys like white guys because white guys have money and they buy you stuff and they'll treat you well.
Give me some money, bitch.
Let's do it.
I love $1 million things.
So, anything else? Do you have anything?
My list.
Okay.
We talked about lots of sex, partying, right? Did we talk about partying?
No.
Or like how all gay people just like party all the time.
Party all the time.
Just, like,
party
like,
all the time.
All the time, 100% of the day. Wake up, party, go to bed, party. They're partying while they're sleeping. You know, like the whole like going out and like clubbing thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me tell you.
Tell me.
I used to go out all the time. And I'm not even, like, that's another stereotype that I play into, is that I used to go out all the time. Like, I would go out Tuesday through Sunday, every night out to a different club, and then every other Monday I would go to Gay Skate. Gay Skate was awesome because it was at this roller rink, and it was like on Monday night.
That's almost 7 days a week.
I know! Believe me, girl, I know.
Would you work and go, like,
I would work, then go home and change, and then go out to a bar until like 2 a.m.
And then work the
next day. And then work
day.
again the next day.
Oh my God.
Like, that is basically what I did from like the age of 17 until like 24.
Oh, but like, I mean, hey, you had fun, right?
I had a great time.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of fun. And I tell people, I'm like, if that's what you feel you need to do, then go do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it now. I can barely stay out. Like, we set out the bat signal and we went out for we're like, everybody meet us at happy hour at Moe's, blah, blah, blah. We get there, we're like an hour in, we're like, okay, we're leaving. Okay, thanks, bye.
Isn't happy hour at like 5?
It was 5.
Yeah, so it was like 5, and then at 6 o'clock, we're like, okay, we're going to get dinner and we're going to go home. Okay, bye.
The silent disco we stayed until 11:30. I was like, God, it's late.
I know. It's like, if we stay out later than 11 o'clock, I'm like, we are freaking rock stars.
I know. We're like kids. Like, oh my God, look at us what the kids are doing. They're like staying out. But also, like, there comes, I think the older you get, the more you realize, like, nothing really good happens later in the evening. Like, the night gets sloppy very quickly. Like, you've seen flicks.
Yes.
And Riches.
And all of them. It's just anywhere. It's any gay bar.
And it is just like, when you're walking down, I mean, it's right here where you guys live, and it's like you're walking down and you're like, oh my.
I always try to leave the bar at like 1:59. So like I don't have to see what it looks like at 2 o'clock when they raise the lights up.
And by 1:59, you mean 8:59.
Exactly. I want to be there right when the lights go down. So that I can be like, oh, and then I can leave before everybody gets there.
Yeah. You got the space and no annoying people. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then like another stereotype is like everybody drinks a lot and everybody does drugs, and
that's accurate. Like party. I mean, that's a totally different thing because like I feel like the party culture, like that's what.
If you are part of the party culture, it does fit into that. But not all gays do a lot of drinking.
You got like gays that crochet and cross stitch. I'm assuming.
Oh, I'm sure that's a stereotype too.
Cross stitching,
like staying home and like doing needlepoint and stuff.
The swimmer guy does it. What's his
Tom Daly.
Tom Daly.
He does that?
He did,
oh, that's right. He did a whole thing on the
He,
last Olympics, right? When he was there.
He
knits.
He knits.
Yeah. So there you go.
I mean,
Part of the stereotype.
They see.
Well, and then you have the gay dad stereotype, I think, too. Like, right?
Like daddies?
No, like that. Like,
well, that too.
That too. Gays with kids.
Oh, dinkwads.
What?
What?
Oh wait, no.
That's double income.
That's double income. No kids with a dog.
With a dog.
We are diewads. We're double income with a dog because we can't say we're dinks because we have 3 kids.
Yeah.
You're just old.
I like diewads though. It sounds fun.
Diewads.
I'm a.
You are a
Diewad.
Sinkwad.
Ooh.
You're a single income, no kids with a dog.
Sinkwad. That's my drag name.
On that note, anything left?
No.
No? Okay, so I'm going to leave you with something that I thought was really cool that I read. And it was, it says, whether gay acting or straight acting, the most important thing is the ability to choose how to act without being policed. We need the space to freely and firmly be ourselves. And I truly believe that. So, go out there, be who you want to be who you are, be firm.
That's all I heard.
And if you're going to be a stereotype, then be the best stereotype that you can be.
Embrace yourself, love yourself.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Have a great week. Thanks.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.